Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. My daughter's got me that over the weekend. I thought, how cool is that? I figure I'll put my KREG'S corner on that. I gotta figure out it's running on a 9 volt right now, but there's a 9 volt power supply plug-in, and I guess it makes it work fantastic. So I'm playing with it quite a while. So the battery's getting a little dead, bro. So she's getting a little weak, you know what I mean? So anyways, I thought that's kind of interesting. Oh, come on. There we go. Anyways, moving right along. So, we are on episode number 4 on that Bronco build. So, we are moving right along on that. So, in this video, I'm going to show you clear coating it. We did clear coat it. Obviously, the last video, we wet sanded it. So, we took the start off on it. We took it in and did a wash job on the thing and come out here, cleaned it all up, did some clear coat on it, and we started putting it together a little bit. All that good stuff. So other than that, yeah, I guess that's about it. So I think our friend needs some help over here. Oh. Don't touch, he says. The things that make you laugh. Alright, let's go to the bench and let's get this thing going. Let's take a look. Well, we just got the Bronco in from having a bath. So I kind of wipe her down good. So I got those decals on there. Looking good, looking good. Like I say, those sat overnight. So that should give us a real nice clear coat job. So I get this wiped down real good. I'll tell you, this was kind of hard to paint this. You know, to keep that nice looking. That wasn't the easiest spot to paint. I mean, it wasn't bad. Just a little extra involved there, I guess. So when you're washing these models, the other thing you really got to watch out is little things like this here with the holes in it. Water will actually get in there and pool, and you won't even know it. And you go start painting, and you're like, whoa, where does water droplet come from? That's where it'll come from, is those little holes there will stick in there, and it'll puddle up and wick, and then you'll start puddling up and wicking because it's got a hole in water in your paint job, and you're like, oh. And that is how it happened. So the hood's looking pretty sweet. I like that. What I'm going to do is take a little Tamiya panel line, and I'm going to panel line these doors real quick with the panel line accent color, black in color. And this is item number 87131 for you guys that have not used the panel line. This is great stuff. Highly recommend it. Just amazing product. Those guys at Tamiya, they think of everything. So the nice thing about it, you just can take and just start at any corner and just let it do the job, and it'll basically do the work for you. Just let gravity take over, and there you go. So while that's doing that, I'm going to wipe off this excess down here. And it takes it a minute and it'll wick its way down. And sometimes you gotta give it a little extra. So with this color, this should look pretty good with that black panel line. I'm also gonna do the gas door. And it should have just enough panel line on there to seal the deal, just to give it that little look. So the nice thing about this, that's all gonna be black and hidden, so that works out really well up there. But I am gonna wipe out the excess. Just right here, which isn't really nothing. So that wicked out really nice. So we'll do the gas door. Just gonna get a little bit in there. Wipe that extra off. Hopefully it works its way all the way around. Just a little touch in there, looks pretty good. There we got some nice door lines. So now when we clear that out, that'll look really sharp. They'll stand out really good. So I'm also going to do the back gate. Panel line that back panel there. Why didn't you tell me I need to wipe that off? I didn't see that. Alright, so we got that just a little bit. That works out good. Okay, It's like I say, just a little panel line across the back. It changes everything. I mean, it makes it look so much nicer. So it looks pretty good. I'm not overly worried about down here because we got those rockers that go on, so that'll cover up any little hidden something. So we'll get that paint mixed up and we'll see how this turns out here. So we got our cups. We have our MCW clear gloss. This is 1017E. And I do write the dates on there. I have found out for just old stock basically, or it's just older. So I do like to, or I just had it for a while and I just hadn't used it. You know, one of those things. So I write the date on it when I received it. That way I kind of can keep track of it. Same as the hardener. I write the date on that as well. And this is also MCW. So if you're using this is basically 2K clear. You're gonna need this because this will stay soft all its life unless you put hardener in it. So this is a clear hardener. This is 1017EH. And I like to write the formula on the top that I use. So for the hardener, you got basically this is clear paint or whatever. So it's 2 parts. 1 part H for hardener, and then I got 1 + 1 part T for thinner. So thinner I use mr.color leveling thinner. That's what I use in here, and it works really well. So that has worked really good for me so far. So yeah, so we get some of this mixed up quick, and we'll get this shot, and this should look pretty good. So once I get this shot, basically it'll just sit and dry for the weekend. Okay, we're going to use another straw for our hardener, and I'm going to throw this away so I don't get that mixed up with anybody. Same with the thinner. Like so. We can take and mix this all up, and it should give us enough to do the job here. So you need about 10 milliliters total. And we'll take you over to the paint booth and let's get this started. Okay, that's good there. Alright guys, so we got that all clear coated, so that it's sitting in the Susie bake oven. Now it's just sitting in there. I don't turn that on until it's cured out for a good half hour, maybe even an hour. Being it's later at night, almost before Labor Day weekend, I probably won't even turn it on, to be honest with you. It'll just sit in there. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to sit. So, we're going right down to instruction number 1, and we're going to start assembling this thing. So everything has been painted. So basically at this point, 1 and 2, they're having you put the interior together. So we got those cool looking seats done up. Got some remnants from a clear coat bottle there. So this seat here, we're going to need to put the decal on for the little Bronco, little Mr. Bronco, and go from there. And it's got us putting the console together, which is here. And we got our lid for the console. Got another seat part. So we'll get all this gathered up and I'll bring you back and we'll start assembling some of the stuff. Alright, so we need to get those little icons on the seat there. So we are going to use, they give you multiple choices here. So you have a white and just progresses down pretty much to black. So depending on what color you do your interior. So I think the lighter color would look good, just to show up a lot better. I'll be honest with you, I don't even think those are really colored, to be honest with you. I think they're just embossed in the seats, for what I remember. But we'll put one on there. I'll maybe go with the silver, kind of the lighter in between the white and the more of the gray. I think the white would be too dominant looking. So we'll just do this guy here. And just give her a little accent. But like I say, I don't ever remember seeing a first edition one, so it might be a little different than the regular ones. Yeah, these are super nice decals. Man, you guys build this kit, you're gonna love these decals. Love it. I don't know how good these are gonna show up, but at least we know they will be there. They might be pretty transparent, so we'll put one on and see if it's gonna be worth our while. I'm gonna say no on that one. Maybe we'll have to use the black. Oh yeah, you can barely see it. It's just a silhouette. Okay, that's all right. Thought we'd try. The white probably would show up the best, but it really doesn't fit the theme of the interior. So we'll just do the black. You probably won't see it that well, but that's all right. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit of our microsol on there. Seal the deal. We're gonna let them sit for a minute. Those turned out pretty sharp. Let those sit for a second. Okay, we'll put our console together. So this piece here goes to the back. Like so. Looks pretty good on there. Put some silver down first, so hopefully that'll background on there really good. So it's your, like I say, it's your goat mode. That's the, that goes over any type of terrain. I believe that's what that stands for. That will finish up the interior. So next we gotta do is put the dash together and go from there. Looks pretty good on that chrome, because that does have chrome edge around that knob. Nice. Suck up some water. We'll put a little bit of some microsol in there and that should be good to go. Okay, now we're gonna get that dashboard dollied up. So we got our decals for the dash. So we have our lower front panel here, and then we have our 2 choices for front display interface. We have kind of like your sync screen. This is just the home, like Bronco screen. And then we have a dashboard. So these look like they're identical. 10, you can get your choice, and 11, they look like they're the same thing. And then we also have our steering wheel pack switches for right and left. So that's pretty cool. And I believe 12 is the center of the steering wheel. Okay, so we got those pieces put in the dash. Put some microsol on there, and I black washed the center of the dash and then the top for your switches. I got a couple chips here. I'm not sure what happened on that end. Moving it around, so I'll have to touch them up. And I believe there's a decal that goes across the dash. Alright, looks like we're using the white, because I want to put the orange in there. You cannot see it at all. There's no background on that decal. We'll just put the white one on there and we'll call it good. Okay, so we got the dash done up. Put a little bit of orange accent on the side. We're going to let that dry out with those decals. So I took a little mild tool pen around the steering wheel. Nothing too crazy. And we got those switch packs we're going to put in on the side. So we're going to get those put in and get that taken care of. Okay, so we get our transmission together. This is in operation number 4. So just set the T-case on here. So this is the top of the trans here, the smooth side. So you got one nub up front. So your T-case is going to sit this way here. It has a snug fit. And then on the bottom we put our trans pan on. Like so. We'll let that sit for a minute. Okay, and we're getting to our frame on step number 5. So we're letting that interior dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back to it in a minute. So step 5, they're having you put the exhaust on and our interior plate. So this is all going on to our chassis. So this is our front. They're having you put that plate in there. We can put this on first. Quick test fit. Look good, look good. So we can glue that guy down. It looks like once you get to a certain point, this looks like it assembles pretty quick. Like so. So we got piece number 77 here. This is for your suspension. Basically the holes for your spindles are going to go towards the back. Oh, I didn't realize this. Plus, the hole is a lot bigger here than here, so it's pretty hard to mess that up. Like say, it almost reminds me of a snap-tight kit. You know, you just glue together, which is okay. I mean, some snap-tight kits are pretty cool looking. Nothing wrong with that. So we have pins here, so we're gonna glue them in place. And we got here, a couple here. Okay, so this goes in, your frame will go in, and then this here is going to sit on top of this. So when you put this in, your drivetrain's going to sit like so, because this piece sits over top. So we get this snapped in, like so. I'll get the drivetrain in the rest of the way. Alright, so now we can get the exhaust put on. So this will go in here, but if you turn it around like I did, just like that, it goes in, but I believe they want you to put it in as you're setting that frame in place. So it should go about in these pins here. Pretty positive, tight fit in there. I'll probably just pull them up just a little bit and add a little glue in there, just in case down the road they fall out, which we don't want it to do. So you can put it in after the fact, but it'd probably be a little easier just to put it all in together. But it will go in, as you see. Just have to do a little twist and turn it. Got that back in place. All right, that in there. So that will finish up sections 4 and 5 in the instructions. So it takes us over to 6 and 7, which they have us adding the rear suspension, front suspension, and all that good stuff, and the fuel tank. So the fuel tank, it's going to go in like so. I'll sit in nicely like that. But that looks like that's going to go in after the axle. So I have my axle assembly here. Just going to mock it up real quick. Okay guys, so I started painting the shocks, and I painted it with some flat yellow, or just the stuff I used on my little EXP, the stuff I had mixed up at our body shop. So when I was painting everything, I painted the springs gloss black, and the shock strut assembly is supposed to be yellow. So at this point, I'm gonna just dip it and just let it sit. I think that works pretty good. We're gonna take that like so, just take it and just dip it in the paint, go all the way down to the top. So this is like a water-based paint, I guess like an acrylic if you will. And like that. I'll let that dry and it should work out pretty good. Okay, I'll get the other ones done and those will be ready to install. So I put the decals on the Bronco for the grill, and when you guys decal these, this decal, let me give it the sheet out here, these are individual. So that's not one decal and you put it on. So you put those letters on one at a time. So it was just a little time consuming. They went on actually really nice. So I put a little bit of microsol on to start with and slid each one off just with a toothpick. And then I took a toothpick, dipped it in some of the microsol solution, and I just dipped it on each one, and that worked pretty good. So I come out here the next day, checked it out, and it looks pretty good. They drawn down really nice, so I'm pretty happy with that. Those come out pretty nice. They do have quite a bit of a shine to it, so I almost want to hit that seat with a little bit, maybe a flat overlay to it, but or a satin look to it. I'm not sure yet, but or I may just leave them. We'll see how that goes. Console turned out pretty nice, all said and done. It's also got the little decal on the goat mode knob, so that worked out nice. And the body turned out pretty good. So I showed you earlier in the video painting it. So this has been 2 days later since I'm going to come back out here. So this is the body here. So that's all cured out. The hood just fell off. So that turned out pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. Got a little edging on there, something on the edge. I'm not sure what that's about at the look into that. And the little spot on the N. Other than that, she's pretty clean. I got one little dust spot in the center there, but I'm not sure. I might even just leave it. Body turned out really nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I say, that is the MCW clear coat on it. Over top of that, and you've seen how that was wet sanded, and when you guys wet sand those, you can just leave it like that. It does not phase it one bit. So that's your end product painted out, so it looks pretty cool. So now I got to put some flat black up along the front cowl and all that good stuff. So like I say, we sealed those decals in and did that panel line along the bottom around the door, so it looked pretty nice. And a little bit of panel line around the gas door, just a light accent, just enough to give it a, hey, it's got a little separation. So same as the back, we got that Bronco logo on there along with the Ford logo, the emblem on there. So I think that turned out pretty sweet looking. Like I say, that's nothing done to it. It's just straight off the airbrush and out of the dehydrator. So like I say, I don't think I'm going to do anything with it. I may throw a little bit of polish on it just to smooth it. I always gauge it by my lights. I got LED lights up there, so if I can see the light really clear, I always figure it's pretty good looking. But they're a little hazy, a little bumpy, but I don't know. We might leave it. Maybe. We'll see. I might throw a little polish on it just to see how it looks. But so yeah, so that's where we're at on this side of it. Like I said, we're getting that chassis put together. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up. Don't want to drag it out too long. So Next video around, we're going to get the rest assembled and put together. So I'm not sure we'll make a final out of that last one, or we'll do one more on top of that. We'll see how things go as we get chugging along here. So other than that, like I said, we're going to wrap this up. So I appreciate you guys following along and checking out the channel, and we will see you on the next video. You guys have a good one, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.